They seek it in the future, like everybody else is seeking something in the future, and they seek realization in the future. And they seek it as if it could be an object in their experience. I want this great realization they're all talking about. One day I will going to get there. No, you're not, because one day is now and you're not looking to now. The one day is the future projection. It's here already. But how do you know that it's here? You're just saying that. No, you can. The easiest way to know this is to have a different relationship with the present moment, because the present moment is and remains the point of entry into that deeper state. Even though on the surface it may look unsatisfactory, it is always concealing the deeper dimension. But you can only know that if you find a relationship with the present moment that is non-resistant internally, where you say to the present moment, I realize that you are life. I realize that life is always now. I realize that apart from now, there can be no life. And so, since I realize that the now is all there ever is, I might as well become friendly with the now and give it my attention as it arises in whatever form, and say, there you are, this is what is at this moment. And I surrender my resistance to what is. That is the end of the ego. To be able to do that, there already needs to be something in you that is beyond ego. Only from there can you surrender. So anybody who can hear this message and the possibility of living in a way that treats the present moment as a friend rather than an enemy or an obstacle or means to an end, if you can say to the present moment, there you are, and give it your fullest attention, knowing that past and future are relatively unimportant. They are only of practical purpose, useful for practical purposes, but not for living. Not for finding the fullness of life, as Jesus puts it. I want you to have life in its fullness, he said. What's he talking about? Objects in space or space? Is he talking about life forms? Is he talking about the shopping malls? The fullness of life, is it there? No, he talks about something that is beyond form. It is life itself beyond form. And so to have the fullness of life, you need to come to an openness towards the present moment. And then, for whatever arises in the now, I recommend the mantra mantra as something, as you know, it's a little phrase, a helpful pointer. The mantra itself is nothing, it only points to what matters. The mantra is, if you remember nothing else, and hopefully you won't remember much after this evening, perhaps just this little thing, and it concerns your relationship with the present moment. And the mantra is, can I be the space for this? And I phrase it as a question, not as an affirmation, because the question is more open. It invites you to find out. It invites you to enter into the state where you say to the present moment, There you are, even if it looks unsatisfactory, even if something has just gone wrong. The thing has just broken down, you've just lost something, something has just been gone up in flames. This, whatever, life is fleeting. The forms are very fleeting. And often, the present moment, the mind would say, this shouldn't be happening, but it is. No, but it is. Is. You can't argue with that. Or if you do, you suffer. So you become aligned with life internally. The ego is continuously out of alignment with life, which is now, and the ego is that way. Life is here, always happening, and the ego is trying to get there. Not even to... It's here. So you go more fully into life, and you do not demand that this moment should be different from the way it is. You surrender the demand, and it's because you see it's dysfunctional. You've done it, and this is nothing personal, because we all inherit that. You've done it all your life. Reduced this moment, demanded it should be different, and now try something else. Become friendly with the isness of life. Are you then condemned? Does this mean you're going to be stuck in this undesirable now? No. First, you open yourself to what is, and you look, and you take it in with your attention. This now. There it is. If action is required, it will come out of the state of attention or awareness. You look and you act, or you look and do nothing. If nothing can be done, no action is required, nothing. You simply surrender to what is at this moment. Some situations you need to act. In many other situations, action would be futile. You just have to wait, and you don't even wait. You say, this is what is now. That's fine. Can I be the space for this? Somebody falls ill, you fall ill, you lose something, you lose your job, little things go wrong, big things go wrong. Can I be the space for this? And then you accept the isness of the present moment. And that, out of that simple step, arises an entirely new state of consciousness, because when you accept the isness of now, you become the space for what is. But you were that already, but you didn't know it. So you become what you already always were, but unconsciously. You were already the space for whatever is, the conscious field in which things arise, but you didn't know it because you were so drawn into the world of objects that you lost yourself in every arising object, unaware of your essential being, which is another word we could use to describe, to talk of the space that you are, unaware of your essential being, which is timeless. The dimension, this essential beingness, which is sometimes, another word you could use is the I am before it becomes this or that. The beingness or the I amness. I am and being is the same thing. To be is the infinitive of I am. They look like two completely different words, but they are the same word. The being that you are, which is deeper than the form. The form is, we could, if you want to use words, existence. The existence means to stand out. Ex means out. You exist as a particular form, yes, for a little while, until the dash on the gravestone. You exist, you stand out for a little while as this form, and there's something in humans that wants to stand out, and that's fine, it has its place. It says, here I am, okay. But you are not I am for that long up here, because it requires an effort to stand out. You go, here I am, I have achieved, or I am the greatest failure, I'm a greater failure than you. I affirm my specialness as the great failure, or I affirm my specialness as the great hero who has achieved whatever, and then it all collapses around you after a while. In the world of form, nothing lasts. We all know when Napoleon ended up very frustrated, and he sat on this island the last few years. What now? It all dissolved. All the big battles, it all gone up like puffs of smoke. That's the world of form. It's in the nature of the world of form to be ephemeral, fleeting. So there you are, and you lose yourself in that, and you think that is of the greatest importance. Whatever happens in this fleeting world of continuously fluctuating forms, that's very frustrating. Some people know that already when they're 25, others have to live to 75 and still don't know it. That you can't find anything lasting there. And so underneath that has always been the timeless consciousness that you essentially are. You were always, you will always be, you always are, is the most correct statement. You always are already the space for the world, because you are, in essence, consciousness itself. That is nothing to do with thought. And that is the dimension that is beyond, we could say it is deeper than thought, but I sometimes put it in a different, as you know, high and low or deep and are very relative terms. There is ultimately no such thing as high. When you leave Earth, there's no up and down anymore. So we can say the deeper consciousness, or we can say the transcendent, timeless consciousness. We are rising above compulsive thinking. And compulsive thinking, by compulsive thinking, I mean unconscious thinking that is conditioned by the past. Humanity's destiny now, and it's already happening, is to rise above thinking. Then thinking will have found its place. It will no longer dominate your existence. You are moving. The shift is from being a predominantly thinking entity with a few lucid moments to being a predominantly aware being. The shift from thinking to awareness. Awareness is spacious attention. And then thinking can actually be fruitful. No longer the old addictive thinking, because if you only know thinking, thinking is addictive. Can't get enough of it. Why can't you get enough of it? Because it keeps the object, it keeps the mind, the egoic mind going, and it tells you who you are. I need to think about me and my life. And then most people are only too happy to tell others about me and my life, and often me and my life consists of their complaints about life, and their complaints about other people and what they've done to them, or what life has done to me, and what my ex-husband, my ex-wife did to me. And these are the stories that make up people's lives. And they don't, it's so, what is there beyond that? Beyond that is who you are. The presence, the consciousness. Sometimes we use the word stillness to describe that state underneath the mind. But underneath may not be the right word, because it is really